Hey everyone, welcome back to From Score to Stage, where we break down the craft of great music making. Today, we're tackling a topic that every pianist has wrestled with at some point. Should we still be memorizing piano music? It's a tradition that feels sacred, but also stressful. Some pianists swear by it, others quietly resent it. And the debate is more complicated than most people realize. So let's dig in to where memorization came from, why it's controversial today, and whether it still deserves a place in modern piano performance. Believe it or not, memorization wasn't always the norm. Before the mid 1800s, pianists almost always performed with the score. Even Beethoven used the score when he performed his Piano Concerto number 3 for the first time. Then along came Clara Schumann and Franz Liszt, who started performing from memory. In fact, Clara Schumann was vilified in the press at the time for having the audacity to perform without the score of a piece of music she wasn't the composer of. They did it partly to elevate the artistry, partly to amplify the spectacle. Audiences loved it, critics debated it, and eventually memorization became the gold standard for pianists. Fast forward to today, and we're still living inside that 19th century expectation, even though the musical world around us has changed dramatically. Let's start with the pros, because memorization can be powerful. First, memorization forces you to internalize the harmony, structure, and phrasing. You're not just reading the music, you're absorbing it. Two, without the score, you can focus more on sound, gesture, and communication. Many pianists feel more expressive when they're not tied to the page. Three, fair or not, audiences often interpret memorization as mastery. It creates a sense of confidence and connection. Four, competitions, conservatories, and many teachers still expect memorization. For better or worse, it's part of the professional landscape. So, yes, memorization has real artistic and practical benefits. Now, let's look at the other side of the story, and it's just as important. First, memorization is one of the biggest sources of stage fright. A single lapse can derail an entire performance. The fear of that lapse can overshadow the music. Two, many pianists memorize through repetition alone. That works until stress hits. Motor memory is fragile under pressure. Three, no other musicians are expected to memorize entire programs. Not violinists, not cellists, not opera singers, not orchestras, not conductors. So why pianists? In fact, pianists, when they're playing chamber music, will use the score every time. Four, contemporary music, extended techniques, and dense textures. Some pieces simply are not designed to be memorized. I can think of perhaps pieces by Roger Sessions that would be extremely difficult to memorize. Number five, some pianists actually play better with the score. They feel grounded, secure, and more focused on interpretation. So the argument against mandatory memorization is strong and growing. So, what should we do? Here's where the modern conversation is heading. Some pieces benefit from memorization, Chopin nocturnes, Bach preludes, Ravel, Debussy. Others don't. Large contemporary works, dense fugues, or anything with complex textures. More pianists are performing with the score, even in professional settings. It's becoming more accepted, especially with the discrete tablets and page turn pedals. This technology has really modernized the way I, as a collaborative pianist and a pianist, approach my craft. Instead of relying on muscle memory, we can teach analytical memory, oral memory, visual memory, and motor memory. And when all four work together, memorization becomes far more reliable. And memorization should be a tool, not a moral requirement. Not memorizing doesn't make you less musical, less serious, or less professional. So here's my take. Memorization is valuable, but it shouldn't be mandatory. It's a tradition worth preserving, but only when it enhances the performance, not when it creates unnecessary stress and limits artistic choices. I don't know how many students I've seen when I've judged competitions where they have had a memory slip and it has traumatized them. I don't think this benefits young students at all, and I think it actually hurts them by making them not want to play the piano anymore. If memorizing helps you play with more freedom, do it. If using the score helps you play more with more confidence, do that instead. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to impress anyone with memory tricks. The goal is to make music honest, expressive, and deeply felt. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share this with the pianist who's struggling with memorization. And let me know in the comments, do you prefer performing from memory or with the score? Thanks for watching From Score to Stage. I'll see you in the next one.